Patreon.com/the Walk Off Podcast. $4 a month gets you in there.
We are so darn excited to have returning to the show the head of the mental performance department for the Toronto Blue Jays, Robert DiBernardo. Welcome back to the Walk Off, man. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Absolutely love it. Love the work that you both do. And Scott, Adam, looking forward to 30 minutes, a chop it up session with both of you.
Yeah, we're excited to have you back, man. I know you just got back from the player and staff leadership retreat. How was that?
Transformational, I'd say.
Really?
Yeah. We had roughly 4 days, and we had an opportunity to do combine two different types of programming. And we went to Northwest Arkansas with a new vendor. And this is a group of former Rangers, some Marines that are working with veterans on the civilian side of things, helping them find their purpose and helping them find a way to serve after post-deployment, post-military life. And we got to do all manner of things, and it was incredible. Staff and players, shoulder to shoulder, side by side, going through all kinds of activities. And we got a chance to get away from the usual day-to-day at our player development complex. And, it's always fun when you do that.
Interesting. Yeah. Was all the players there, or was it kind of the players with the most leadership kind of put on their shoulders? How did this work?
That's a great question. I mean, the selection process was one of players in the upper level of the system. So this is an opportunity for players that might have, impact in the near future and a chance to do special programming to bring out some of those leadership qualities. It was, one of those things where we got the camp going a little on the later side in the sense that we hadn't done this programming for a couple of years due to COVID. Mm-hmm. And so we had to go through a roster of guys and come up with, I think ultimately we had 14 players in attendance and 11 staff.
Wow. Amazing.
Real nice.
So I know last time we chatted, you gave an excellent breakdown of what the mental performance department was. And since that time, I'm going to brag a little to you here, Robert. Our listenership has grown by about 10 times. We actually finished #1 on the Apple charts for baseball podcasts in Canada. So for all of the new listeners out there, can you really quickly, before we kind of delve into the weeds here, explain what the mental performance department is?
Okay, Scott, how to be essential here. This is the elevator pitch stuff. Well, we've got a 5-person team, and we are providing support, education, application, and support for roughly 200 players in the system. But we work at a staff level as well. So not only players but staff, all are considered high performers. In fact, I would put a plug in here for staff and coaches, knowing that they often come in earlier and leave later. Really high performers, and they're in that day-to-day environment with them, living the successes and struggles of the players in the development system, and then as they get to the big leagues. So the 5 of us will, quote unquote, divide and dominate throughout the system. And, our whole approach is to help develop the mindset of players so that they can have the skills that stand up under pressure. The kind of skills that when they move through the levels, it travels and they can deliver what they do on a nightly basis. And there can be real challenges with that. Obviously, there are internal barriers. Sometimes players doubt themselves, unsure if they belong, and they need proof of concept as they have some success on the field. And then externally, there are all types of things that go on. You put an extra comma in the paycheck, you get an extra deck on a stadium. You have agents and business managers and all manner of people that are part of your inner circle. There's a lot on the plate. And so, what are the things we can do from a mindset standpoint to put a player or a staff member in the best possible position to be able to deliver nightly? And the one thing I've learned about baseball is a healthy respect for 162 games, that players stay in a competitive space for months at a time and nightly, and just the sheer volume of competition and what that means to show up day after day. Oftentimes when you may not be feeling your best, and you're really going to need to bring that elite attitude and that elite focus to what you do so you can still perform.
That's such a great point about the grind of 162 because it's not just physical. The mental grind of 162 games. Like, I can't even imagine being mentally prepared to go night in and night out.
Yeah, it's really, really challenging. It's not easy to have your best fastball every single night. There's a Roger Clemens story, where he probably had his best stuff 50% of the time, possibly less, but he still had to get major league hitters out. And so that's where really the strategy and the mental fortitude come in, to be able to find ways without your ace stuff. And the two of you, I know that you do comedy, and if you're on that grind of being on the road and doing show after show to bring the funny night after night, not easy to do.
Whether you're feeling funny or not. Nope, for sure.
Yeah.